Hey guys, how's it going? Brad Riley here, founder of the Accelerator company, and in this video today, I have something really exciting for you. I actually have exclusive access to one of my long-form advanced training masterclasses that goes inside of my Entrepreneur Accelerator program every single week. Now, this is a really in-depth one. What we're gonna go through today is how you can close social media management clients. And I'm actually gonna run through a really in-depth script that I created purely for group members and my mentorship students that you're gonna be able to get access to. So you're gonna be able to watch all of this video, you're gonna be able to see the script. Now, just two things here for you that I'm really excited to announce before we get into the video. Number one, if you are interested in becoming a mentorship student of mine, if you want full access to these masterclasses every single week, if you want to become my mentorship student, you want to access the live calls, the Discord chat, the Facebook group, the upcoming events and meetups, all of the crazy stuff, I'm actually, for a limited time only, offering a 7-day free trial. So if you check out the top link of the description, no risk, no commitment, 7-day free trial. You can click the link and get in there for a limited time. And number two, if you also do want to access the real sales script, right? I'm gonna show you the sales script, I'm gonna run you through it, but if you want to actually get access to the sales script, you know, the actual PDF version of it, again, if you go ahead and join inside of that free trial, if you get yourself in the Entrepreneur Accelerator, you're gonna get access to it. Now, I hope you enjoy this. I hope you get a bunch of value. Be sure to join that free trial. Check out the top link in the description, and let's hop into it. Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Welcome to a brand new training advanced masterclass. And in today's session, what we're going to be doing is going through the social media management sales script. Now, this is ever so slightly different to the Facebook ads and social media marketing script that I've already sent you guys in the group. So I'm assuming there's going to be a bunch of people who ask for a social media marketing one, and if that's the case, that one is also in the group. But what I wanted to do today is put together a training session, put together a training masterclass breaking down this whole social media management script. And the crazy thing about this is this script simply works, and it has made me, over the last 3 years, multiple tens, if not hundreds, $100,000+ implementing this exact structure and strategy into my agency. Now, this script here that I'm going to show you today is broken up into, how many have we got? 10 sections here. So I'm going to run you through them quickly before we jump into it. So section 1 is intro and rapport building. Section 2 is setting the agenda and taking the lead. Section 3 is deep dive questions. 4 is gathering data. 5, flip the script. 6, elaborating on service delivery and how we can help. 7, releasing control. 8, close. 9, objections if we have any. And then 10, getting the final commitment, meaning getting the payment. And if you follow this structure, okay, if you follow this structure, you will literally, unless they're just not a great fit and you just don't want to work together or something isn't right, you're going to close pretty much every possible deal that you can close that are a good fit if you follow this structure. And this script is a bit different to most scripts. Like you'll see here, I've got a variety of different questions, options for you to take it down. It's more of a structure as opposed to here's like a 300, 400, 500 word script that I want you to read off exact word for word. For me personally, I've never worked well reading direct off a script. I always sound very scripted. I sound like a robot. It just doesn't work well for me. And I know a lot of you guys are the same. So rather than put together just an exact word for word script, I've put together more of a structure with a variety of different questions that you can ask throughout this whole process. And am I against word by word scripts? Definitely not. I think when you're cold calling and things like that, having an exact script to follow is helpful, like an exact word by word script. But when you're on a longer sales call, like, you know, these sales calls can go in any direction. Sometimes they're going to be 15, 30, 45, 1 hour long. So, you know, you can't physically prepare a word by word script for a 60-minute phone call. All right. So the key is here, almost like Jordan Belfort teaches, this is your straight line, and the goal is to keep them on this line. Okay. You want to follow this structure get them to the commitment at the end. All right. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So to begin with the core, we want to start with a short intro and build a tiny bit of rapport. Now, I just want to make one thing clear here. A lot of people get confused in sales and they think that they need to build rapport for 30 minutes. You do not need to do this at all. You do not need to spend 30 minutes building rapport. At the end of the day, you're a business owner, they're a business owner, especially if these are warm leads, you don't need to spend that amount of time. However, it could be slightly rude if you just go straight in. So I recommend just literally 1-2 minutes, just a little bit of back and forth rapport here to start off the sales call, and obviously just to introduce yourself if this is the first time you're ever speaking to the prospect. So here I've put very simple opening line. Hello, is this prospect? Great. This is Brad. How are you? So just as an example, I'd pick up the phone, and you always want to be the first person to talk, by the way. So you would want to take control of the conversation. Hello, is this John? Okay, great. Hi, John. This is Brad. How are you doing today? Real simple first intro opening line. Then once you get a response, you can ask one or several of these questions below. By the way, you can ask any question you want, but I've tried to make this as simple as possible for everyone who's a beginner, right, and just starting out here. So a couple of things you could do is you could say, hey, I see on your website that you're based in London. What time is it for you right now? Or obviously, if you're based in London, don't ask that question. But if they're based in the US and you live in the UK or in Australia, just ask, what time is it for you right now? I see you're based in Australia. I see you're based in Brisbane. Okay. If you don't know where they're based, ask them. Oh, okay, cool. So where are you based? I see you're based in London, right? How long have you lived there? Oh, I've always wanted to visit Brisbane. Do you recommend it? Oh, I visited Brisbane 10 years ago and I did XYZ. It's a great city. So, just a couple of things that you can build a tiny bit of rapport on to get the conversation started is, where do you live? What's your location? How long have you lived there? What's the weather like? Just the general small talk just to begin the conversation. I don't think you need to, as I've put here, I don't think you need to elaborate this into a massive 20-minute conversation. It just needs to be a little back and forth chat. Ease yourself into the call, ask a few back and forth questions, okay? So after I've done that, this is very, very key here. You want to take control of the conversation again and just say and be completely respectful. Okay, so I know you're busy, so let's just jump right into it. Okay, I know you're busy, let's just jump right into it. What this does is it shows a bit of respect for not only your time, but the business owner's time as well. The last thing you want to happen is you have like a 30-minute back and forth conversation about the weather and locations and your personal life, because all that's going to do, like an authority figure that respects their time isn't going to spend 45 minutes speaking about the weather. Okay, so just respecting their time, saying, look, I know you're busy, so am I, so let's just jump right into it. So that's section number 1. This should only take you a few minutes. Then on to stage 2 of the structure. You want to set the agenda and take the lead. Now, honestly, this is, in my opinion, the most important part of the whole sales call. If you let your client or your prospect, take control of the call, you're fighting an uphill battle for the rest of the time that you're having that conversation. If they take the lead and they try and push you about, they try and treat you like an employee, you're basically screwed when it comes to charging any type of high ticket price to position yourself as an authority figure. So this can be done in a real simple way. Okay, it doesn't have to be done in a macho way. You don't have to come across rude. Really, really simple. A really great way to take the lead and set the agenda is by doing this. Okay, so what you would say is, okay, so how the call is going to go today is I will start out by asking you some questions about your business, your current social media strategy, and exactly what you're looking for. And then if it sounds like we can help you and if it sounds like we're a good fit, I will explain exactly what we can do to help, and we can make a decision whether or not we want to progress together. Does that sound fair enough? Okay, great. Do you see what we've done here? We've taken control of the call, and all of a sudden we're the one that is taking the lead. So it's very simple. I'm going to start out by asking you some questions, find out what you're looking for, and if I can help, at the end of the call, we'll make a decision on whether or not we want to move forward together. Does that sound good? What this prevents is them interviewing you, treating you like you're their employee. That's not what you want. This is a partnership. You're not their employee. And that's going to be extremely important for you to understand if you want to work with clients that are a good fit and don't micromanage you. It also helps with authority when it comes charging a higher ticket price later down the line in the sales call. Okay? So real simple to do, takes you 10 seconds to do this. Set the agenda, take control of the call. From here, you want to dive into the first main part of the call, which is the deep dive questions. And this is where essentially you find out as much information about their business as possible. And you're going to do this for multiple reasons. Number one, obviously, if you're going to go ahead and work with a prospect, you want to know exactly what they're selling. You want to know information about the business, what their mission is, what their vision is. You want to know what they're doing, right? What they're selling, their products, and all of that good stuff if you're going to go ahead and work with them. But even more importantly than that, you want to find out, and this is why I've called them deep dive questions. You want to dive deep here and try and get a little peek behind the curtain to help you understand the size of the company, if they're a good fit, potentially what you can price at. So I've got a bunch of questions you can ask. All of these questions you can ask the couple. Depends, generally like how the conversation's going. If you can tell they're in a rush, maybe you don't want to ask all of these questions. You might only ask one or two. However, if you have the time, the call's going in the right direction, maybe you can ask all of these. But just a few examples here are, okay, so tell me, why don't you just start by telling me about your business? What exactly is it you're selling? And, what are you pricing your products at? I'd love to know some more information. Okay, so the first simple question is, tell me about your business. Another question here, and this is again a really, really great question. How many employees do you have? And again, if it's relevant here, you can also ask how many locations they have. Let's say it's a gym or a restaurant and they've got like 4 locations. Ask them, do you just have this one location or do you have multiple locations? Again, that's not relevant for everybody. Like this, it's not going to be relevant for an e-com store who have just a website they sell online, but for a physical brick and mortar type business, this could be relevant. So the second question you can ask is, how many employees do you have? How many locations do you have? Now, the reason we ask this question, generally speaking, isn't because we care actually about how many employees they have. It's because we're trying to gauge how large the business is. So I want you to think about this for a second. We're gathering data here. We're deep diving. We're finding out information. So if they tell us that they have 2 employees, well, the chances are, this isn't the case all of the time, but most businesses that only have 2 employees are pretty small. So are they going to be able to afford a $1,500 social media management fee? Well, probably not if they've only got 2 employees. Now, let's look at it from another point of view. Let's say they turn around and say to you, oh, actually, yeah, we've got 47 employees right now and we've got 7 locations. Ka-ching. If they're paying 47 employees, maybe an average salary is $3,000 a month, you can do the maths, right? That's about $150,000 a month in outgoings for team costs, for staff costs. And bear in mind, some of the employees are going to be on way more than $3,000 a month, right? So it helps you understand, okay, if they're spending that much money already on team costs, if I come in and price at $1,000, $1,500, that's probably not even going to be expensive for these guys. So this isn't just about actually caring about how many employees they have. Obviously, it's great to know, but it's more so trying to get a peek behind the curtain at the size of the business. Another question you can ask, very simple, but yet again, very, very important. Who are your competitors? Now, when you're offering social media management services, you're going to be modeling success a lot. You're going to be looking at competitors, seeing what type of posts, what type of captions that the target audience are engaging well with. What do they like? What are they responding to? What type of content doesn't work? That's all real important. And unless you know who their competitors are, you're going to struggle to do that research. Also, let's say, I don't know, it's a fishing e-commerce store. Find out the competitors. You might look and you might find a bunch of different fishing competitors that sell different products. And what you might realize is that these competitors have got 10,000 followers. And these are followers who are interested in fishing products. So we know if we're going to grow pages, we can go in, engage, like, comment, and ultimately try and get those followers onto our page as well to get more buyers and more interest from your target audience for that business. So by knowing the competitors, we can essentially find more pages that we can gain audience from and also model success. Another good question for social media management here. Have you been managing this page yourself up to date, or who's been managing the social media pages? This is just a real good question. It's important for you to understand. Have you been doing this all yourself, or have you been, maybe you've got I don't know, someone in your team that used to manage it, but they've left. What's the pain point? Is the pain point you've been doing it yourself and you don't have any more time? Or is the pain point you used to have somebody else do this, but they weren't doing a good job? You need somebody who's got more skill to do it. Again, this is a great question to ask. If selling multiple services or products, what is your best seller? Okay, this is important to know, because if you're creating content, and you want to push maybe the best seller, you might get some bias from social media management, okay? The goal with social media management, by the way, isn't to drive a bunch of purchases. It is more so about brand awareness, building up authority, building social proof, getting engagement, staying in top of mind for customers. It's not always necessarily about conversions and getting like an influx of buyers. However, if you know what their best sellers are, you can push it a little bit maybe on some social media posts and try and drive some revenue, because that's only going to help retain the clients if you do that. And the final question I've got here is, who is your ideal customer? What are the demographics? Where are they hanging out? Tell me as much as you possibly can about them. This is one of the most important questions that you can ask right here. Who is your ideal customer? Especially with social media management, you need to know who you're talking to. Where are they hanging out? What type of pages are they going to be following? What are their age groups? Tell me as much as you possibly can about your ideal customer. Now, with these questions, you can see here, if they answer all of these, we're going to have a really good understanding about the size of the business, about the products they sell, their competitors, the best sellers, the ideal customer, the demographics, and that's going to put us in a real good position now to, when we're going into the next couple of sections and we're going to tell them how we can help, we now have a good understanding of that business. And also we've kind of got a bit of an understanding at potentially, based off of what they've told us, what we can price at. So then we go into section 4, which is the data gathering stage. And as I put here, the whole point of this section is to find out exactly what the client wants and what we will be doing. So it's okay to find out, all this information, but ultimately we need to find out, okay, now we know about your business. What exactly are you looking for? What are you looking for help with? All right. So a great question for this is, a great way to frame this as well, I should say, is, now I have a great understanding of your business. Thank you. Why don't you tell me exactly what you are looking for? And as I put here, you can dive further into this. For example, are you also looking for growth on Instagram? Will you be sending us content, or will we need to get the content created ourselves? After you're offering social media management services, have you ever considered Facebook advertising? And I've put here, when they reply with that answer, always affirm it back to them. Okay, so just to be clear, you are looking for full social media management services to drive more awareness for your business, which includes daily posting across Instagram and Facebook and some Instagram growth. Is this correct? So here you ask them, what exactly are you looking for? So they might turn around and say, I'm looking for daily content to stay top of mind. I'm also ideally looking for someone to handle all the creation of the content, because I'm really busy. I don't have time to take photos. I need like somebody to actually create content and things like that. I also need somebody to write the captions, and I'm also looking for a little bit of growth. Okay, cool. We know exactly what you're after. Now we can offer a solution for you. And it's really important to affirm it back to them here, just so they understand that you know exactly what they're looking for. So you can use these kind of these questions back to them, and you can use these affirmations back to them, just so they understand you're listening, you're paying attention, and you can essentially be the person to solve that problem that they have. Another great question in the data gathering stage here would be, what would an ideal partnership look like for you? Are you looking for us to take full control, or would you like more involvement? This is a really great question. You're basically saying to them, what would an ideal partnership look like? They're going to tell you, and guess what? If it's something that you can do, you can offer them the exact partnership they're looking for. It's basically saying, what are you looking for? Okay, great. I can be that person to do it. It's going to really, really increase your chances of closing the deal. Like, people often confuse this, right? They think they have to sell really hard, try and persuade them as to why you should be the person to do the job. No, the simple way to do it is to ask them what they're looking for and then offer them a solution to their problem. What would an ideal partnership look like? Oh, well, I just want somebody to take full control of everything. I don't want any involvement whatsoever. Okay, great. Actually, just so you know, John, this is the exact way that we like to work. We're experts at what we do. So we like, our clients to trust in our process and for us to take full control of everything. We'll send you reports every single month so you're kept in the loop. But other than that, you can just trust in the fact that we're taking full control of everything and getting great results for your business. Boom. They've told us exactly what they're looking for. We've told them that we could do it. It's really, really, really powerful. Okay. After that, after the data gathering stage, we go into stage 5, which is flipping the script. So I've put here, I apologize for all the questions, but we're really picky about who we work with and like to get a real understanding of your business before progressing. We take pride in doing a good job, which is why most of our clients come from referrals. From experience, the more data and understanding we have of a business, the better the results. So what are we doing here? We're building massive levels of authority for ourselves. Building massive levels of authority. Let me tell you a couple of reasons as to why. Number one, we're really picky about who we work with and we like to get a real understanding of your business before progressing. This does a couple of things. Number one, it shows them that we're not just in this for the money, trying to close every single deal out there. But it also makes them feel a sense of urgency, right? A sense of scarcity, because they feel like, oh God, I hope they pick me. Am I good enough to work with this agency? And all of a sudden, rather than them hiring you, they're almost like hoping that that we allow them to work with us. And that's such a powerful position and technique. Another thing here, we take pride in doing a great job, which is why most of our clients come from referrals. That is a really, really powerful thing you can say in a sales call. We take pride in doing a good job, which is why most of our clients come from referrals. What do you think they're thinking at that point? Wow, they get most of their business because their current clients refer them. Wow, they must do a great job. Really, really powerful positioning and authority technique. And here, from experience, the more data and understanding we have, the better the results. So we're just saying, look, we're asking you all of these questions right now so we can understand your business and get you fantastic results. It shows that you are a professional and you're not just there to try and hard sell them. Because let's be honest, you don't like it, I don't like it. Nobody likes to be nobody likes to be sold, full stop, but especially hard sellers. Nobody likes sleazy salesmen. So we don't want to be that person. We want to be a professional. We want to find out all the information, find the problems, offer the solution. Now, this takes us into the kind of second part of the sales call now. Now we've kind of flipped the script again. We've asked all the questions. This is where we tell them exactly how we can help and elaborate on the service delivery. So we elaborate on exactly what we can do to get them results, essentially. And it's important that we do this at this point here, after we've found out all of this information. Because as mentioned, at this point now we know everything about their business, their customers, what they're looking for. So when we elaborate on how we can help them, we're just going to tell them everything that they want to hear, essentially, and all of their pain points they're having, we're going to overcome them. Okay, and we're going to be the agency, the freelancer, the business that's going to solve that problem for you. Now, at this point as well, I just said then that, we'll do what they're looking for. Now, at this point here as well, bear in mind, if they've told you they're looking for SEO services, this would also be the point that you would tell them, look, we don't offer SEO, we don't offer YouTube ads or whatever. We just focus on social media management services, or we just focus on social media management and Facebook advertising services. So obviously, if they're asking for stuff that you can't do, I'm not saying go in and just tell them that you can do it. This would be the stage where you tell them exactly why they should focus on social media management and ads and stuff like that, as opposed to going down the other route. And obviously you would explain it at this part of the sales call. So how can you help and elaborating on the service delivery? So this is the part of the call where you discuss exactly what you can do to help and give them your expertise/recommendations on the best approach. You can explain the type of content you would create. You can explain what they are doing wrong and how you would improve it. You can explain the type of strategy you'll implement and how much growth they can expect on the social pages. So, let's say you did a bit of research. They sent you their social pages before the call, and the last time they posted was like 6 months ago. Well, you can explain what they're doing wrong and how they can improve. So I noticed the last time you posted was 6 months ago. We need to stay top of mind for your customers. We need to stay top of mind. We need to be on the favorable side of the Instagram and Facebook algorithm. So we want to be making sure we're posting every single day, and we can take control of that. Okay, can you see here how we're explaining to them what we can do to help? Maybe we'll say the captions you're writing right now aren't engaging. We're going to write better captions. We're going to grow the pages. We're going to create better looking graphics for you, because right now, you don't have any branding on your social presence and things like that. So you tell them exactly what you can do to help. And this will be different for every single sales call and every client, depending on their wants and needs. This is why it's especially helpful to do research into the business before the call, so you can come best prepared. And I always do this, by the way. I always get the prospect's website and social media pages before I jump on a call with them, because I want to make sure that I've done at least 10, 15 minutes worth of research into the business before I try and get on a call and try and close a deal. This is where you also want to explain that you have a minimum 90-day commitment and that social media management isn't going to work overnight. So you also want to set a bit of expectations here, because the last thing you want is your client to turn around to you and expect to get like $10 million worth of sales within the first week of you starting. Clients can sometimes have really, really unrealistic expectations of what to achieve. So this is where you set expectations. Let them know you have a 90-day commitment, and let them know that social media management is a long-term play and that it isn't going to drive a large amount of sales overnight. Again, this is more of a brand awareness play. This is more about being top of mind, building social proof authority, as opposed to just driving insane amounts of sales and purchases. So you want to make sure that your prospect knows this. It is also at this point that I like to explain the traffic you own versus traffic you pay for situation. And again, this is probably the best selling point for social media management. So if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say traffic you own versus traffic you pay for, essentially traffic you pay for is for something like Facebook ads, right? You pay for the ads to drive traffic to a website to get purchases. You pay for that traffic. Now, with something like social media management, let's say you've built up an audience of 10,000 followers for your client. They now own that traffic, meaning at any point they can make a post and it's going to reach those 10,000 people without spending a single penny, because you own the traffic, instead of something like Facebook ads where you have to pay for it every time you want to run a Facebook ad. So this is really important, and this is a really great selling point for management, because yes, it's a longer term play. However, over the long term, if you're able to build a following of 10, 15, 20, 50, 100,000 people for your client's business, you can reach them at any point for free with a simple post. All right, so it's at this point I try to explain that and say, yes, it is a longer term play, but if we own this traffic over the long term, we're really going to be able to capitalize on it. And every time we have a new product launch, a discount offer, Black Friday, a Christmas offer, whatever it may be. Okay, so this is the stage here where I would tell them, this is how I can help. This is a bit of expectation setting as well, and elaborating on exactly what you would do to help the business. Now, at this point of the call, you want to release control of it. This takes us into stage 7. So this is where I'll say, so let me ask you this. What is stopping you from achieving this on your own? And then let them answer. Basically here, what we're doing is we're forcing them to tell us their pain points. What is stopping you from achieving this on your own? They're going to probably turn around and say, well, to be honest, I'm just too busy right now. I don't have the time to do this myself. Another question you could ask here is also, what would you say is your biggest bottleneck in your business right now? They will reply with a pain point, which you can touch on in the close/objections part of the sales call if you need to. For example, they could say, I don't have time, or I don't have the experience to make this work. So if they tell you right now, I don't have time, when you're coming to close, you can touch on the fact that you're going to save them time. So do you see how every single part of this sales script has a structure? There's a reason behind every word we're saying. There's a reason behind this structure. Okay, it's really, really important that you do this. Now, on to stage 8, pricing and close. This is the exciting part here. Let's try and get some revenue for the business. So I normally start by seeing if they have any questions. This way I can ensure they are clear on everything. I'm also hoping that they will ask me about the price first, which they will do 90% of the time. In an ideal world, you only want to bring up price once they have asked you about it, because this shows they're interested. Again, this is a really important like framing positioning technique here. So what I'll do after I've released control, I've asked these questions, the next question I'll ask, very simple. I'll say, okay, great. Yeah, this has been a fantastic call. So, do you have any questions for me? And if we've done a good job, we should have covered most things here. Now, they may have one or two other questions, but really the question that I'm trying to get out of them is, okay, Brad, great. Yeah, I do have one question then. So what's this going to cost me? How much are you going to charge me for this? What's the price? Now, once they've asked the price, that's them asking you. It shows that they're interested. So you can then price your services. All right. So this is what I put here. Thank you for answering all of the questions in the course so far. Do you have any final questions for me? Answer all the questions if they have, if they're not related to price. And if they don't bring up price, you can also do so yourself. So hopefully, if they ask, what is this going to cost me, or what is the price, you can say this one simple line with confidence. So our fee is only $500 per month. So our fee is only $1,000 per month. You want to say this with confidence. Now, I remember when I first started my business, I was the worst with this. And honestly, this cost me so much money in deals. Like, I lost out in the beginning. Obviously it was a learning curve at the time, but I would say, like, I know it's quite expensive. It's really expensive. It's probably going to be like $500 a month, something like that. Like, really unconfident, unsure on my price. That's not going to build any confidence for your prospect. They know at that point when I'm saying, probably like $500 a month, they know for a minute, boom, I can push you down. When you say your price with confidence, so our fee is only $500 per month. Also, the word only is a price minimizer, right? So it's real simple. It's one word. But when you put the word only in front of a price, it does minimize the effect that it has on the client. Like if you say it's only $1,000 per month, that's only $1,000. It minimizes kind of the hit to the clients, all right? But really important, just say this with confidence. And then once you've said that one simple sentence, do not say anything until they respond. Even if it gets awkward and there is an awkward silence, do not say a word. Within a second or two, you will be able to get an understanding of their initial reaction to the price. Now, I was the worst for this. I used to try and justify price all the time, but we'll get onto that in a second anyway. Now, at this point here, some people will say, okay, that's fine, and it will not faze them at all. So you'll say, look, it's going to be $500 per month. And then right away, they'll say, yeah, that's no problem. When can we get started? That's the ideal scenario. Now, what some people will do, okay, is they'll be taken back a little bit here. So you'll say, okay, so our fee is only $500 per month. And then it will go silent. And they'll be like, oh, okay. So do you see the hesitation there? This means there's probably going to be a price objection. Whereas it's funny because if you just leave a couple of seconds, don't say anything after you price, let them say they're going to give everything away to you. They're either going to respond with confidence, okay, let's move forward, that's fine by me. Or even if they don't actually outright tell you, oh, that's too expensive, from the reaction, from the hesitation, you'll be able to tell if price is maybe a bit more than they were expecting or something that's out of their price range. Now, do not then go on rambling and trying to justify your price. Say the price and go silent until they reply. The call then goes one of two ways. You push for a commitment and start progressing, or you have to overcome objections. Do not justify price. I used to do this, right? I used to say, okay, so the fee is only $1,000 per month, and you know what, like, I know $1,000 seems expensive, but when you consider that certainly, like, if we close you like 2 or 3 extra deals a month, that's going to cover itself, and obviously we're going to work really, really hard to make sure that, we cover the cost for the fee. We're going to work really hard. We're going to get you great results, and, like, I know it seems expensive, but I promise you it's not. We're going to get you great results. Whoa, that's not confident. You're trying to justify your price before you even know if they have an issue with it. Say your price, go silent, listen to the response. And then if they have objections, they have issues, then you can overcome them, okay? And that takes us into the next part of the call. But if they don't have objections, there's no need to justify. State your price, push for a commitment. Now, stage 9, this isn't going to happen all of the time. Hopefully you've done such a great job in this course so far, the prospect's such a great fit that they're happy with your price and they're happy to move forward. In which the stage, great, go straight to stage 10 and push for that commitment. Now, sometimes here, you're going to have objections, and most of the time it is a price objection. Now, if you can tell that they aren't ready to move forward, there is clearly something holding them back. It could be the price, but it could be also that they don't believe in the service. It could be that they're not the decision maker, or it could be that they don't believe in you or your business. You need to find out that issue. So there are two things here that you can do to extract the objections and then overcome them. So you have two real simple questions that you can ask at this point. If they haven't agreed to the price and you can tell there are some objections, you have two ways you can take it. Number one, so John, what would it take for us to do business together today? What do you need from me? You're basically saying, like, what can I do right now? What can we do to start progressing this relationship, moving it forward and work together? Basically saying, what are your objections? What's stopping you moving forward? Okay? That's a nice, easy way to put it. But if you've got a bit more confidence, you want to be a bit more forward, you can use option 2 here, which is, I can tell something is holding you back from progressing today. And from my experience, it is normally down to one of these 4 things. Either number 1, you're not the decision maker. Number 2, you can't afford it. 3, you don't believe in the product or service will work for your business. Or 4, you don't believe in my agency. So I'd love to know what's holding you back. Which one is it? So again, that one's a bit more forward, and it might not always be the best way to take it, but if you've got the confidence, it seems right, you can go with option 2. But if not, keep it simple, option 1. So John, what would it take for us to do business together today? What do you need from me? Well, Brad, you know what? I'd love the sound of everything. I'd love to work with you, but the only thing that's stopping me moving forward today, Brad, is the price. Yeah, like $500 per month. Like my max budget was $400. There's just no way I can go to 5. Well, okay, John, no worries. You know, let's talk about this. You know what? I can't, unfortunately, drop my price down to 400. But what I can do is I can, you know, rather than daily posts, maybe we could drop down to 4 or 5 posts a week. And then we can, you know, we can talk about that figure. At that point, it would make sense for me. Is this something you're open to? Boom. You've overcome the objection. You've progressed the conversation some more closer to that commitment. All right. So if you do get objections at this point, you find out the objections and then you overcome them. And there are a million objections that you can get. Most of the time, it's always going to be price. And the beautiful thing about price objections with management is there's so much room for negotiation. Like, you know, you could drop the amount of pages you post onto, you can drop the amount of posts that you create. Like, there's so many ways that you can have it still make sense. You know, you could take on a $100 per month social media management client for 1 post a week. I would do that today. Like, that would make sense to me because my margins would be big enough. So, like, if you have the objections, overcome them, negotiate the price, okay? Now, onto the final part of this script, and the most important part is getting the goddamn commitment. So ideally at this stage now, the commitment will be a payment. However, if you cannot get a commitment of a payment on the call, at least get a commitment for another phone call and get that scheduled in the calendar. So here are a couple of things that you can say here. So after everything we have discussed on the call today, are you happy to move forward? Yeah, I'm really happy to move forward. Amazing. Let's get this kicked off right away. Just so you know, I normally charge a $1,000 setup fee for my clients. But if you have 2 minutes now, I'm more than happy to waive that setup fee if you settle the invoice and sign the contract whilst we're on the call. Does that sound good? Awesome. What email shall I send it to? You're getting the commitment on the phone call. And you're using this $1,000 setup fee and waiving it as almost like a bit of urgency. You know, getting to take action right now whilst they're in that buyer mindset. Now, if for any reason they cannot pay on the call, say that as long as they pay before the end of the day, you'll still waive the setup fee. If at that point they don't waive after a day, they maybe were never going to commit to you anyway. So there's no harm if they're not going to pay on the call saying, you know what, I'll give you to the end of the day if you pay today. Because it may be a genuine reason why they're not paying. Like maybe they have to run it past a business partner, or maybe they have to move some money around in some bank accounts or whatever. It may be a genuine reason. So there's no point saying I'll give you all week to pay it. No, that's not gonna be any urgent. There's gonna be no urgency there, right? So you want to just say like I'll give you to the end of the day, you know, and if they don't pay after that point, they're probably never going to anyway. So then you go in to say, So what I'm going to do right after the call is email you over my onboarding process. You can fill this out, answer all the questions, and then give us access to everything we need, such as the content and social media pages. This will take you around 60 minutes. Is this okay to send to the same email? Okay, great. Let's also schedule in an onboarding call whilst we are here. How does tomorrow at 4 p.m. work? It's been great chatting, and I'm really, really excited about this partnership. I'll speak to you tomorrow, and email me if you have any questions. Thanks. Boom. End out the call. And if you cannot get a commitment of the payment, always at least schedule in a call. Always get some type of commitment. If it isn't a payment, at least the bare minimum, schedule in another phone call. Never leave a call without a commitment. That's like my number one rule for sales calls. Never, ever, ever leave a call without a commitment, unless they're obviously like not a good fit. And as I put at the bottom here, this script simply works. I have built my whole agency off of this exact structure and these exact questions. Now feel free to add things in, take them away and adjust as you wish. It is important that you understand this is more of a structure to work from rather than a script to read off word by word. Sometimes the sales call will lead you to deviate off the script, and that is absolutely fine, but the main thing is that you bring the conversation back to the structure as soon as possible and you keep in control of the call. So now go and close some deals. So hopefully you guys got a ton of value in this masterclass today. This will generally make you hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, over your lifetime of running an agency. Trust me, I've tried every sales technique, and for warmer leads, this sales script simply works. It really does work. Ask the questions, print it off, underline things, learn it, try and memorize it. Print it off and have it with you. Have the questions in front of you for your first few sales calls until you understand them and ingrain them, and until it becomes second nature for it is like me right now. Print this off and yeah, you're going to have the best results for it. If you have any questions, let me know. The actual script to this is going to be either linked above or below this video for you to download. Yeah, hope you found a bunch of value. If you need anything, let me know, and yeah, go and close some deals, guys. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Awesome, guys. So I hope you found a bunch of value in this video today. Just again, if you are interested to make the most of that 7-day free trial for a limited time only, we're securing some spots for people who are watching this video. So check out the top link in the description, get yourself in there, become my mentorship student, and also get access to the PDF sales script that we went through in this video today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I cannot wait to see you in there, and I'll see you in the next video.